What is up, my cutouts? Cardboard is here, coming at you with the newest battle pass, the Sky Raiders, released into Crossout last night to much fanfare? I don't know. So, the overall idea is, as everyone knows, it is, at least knows by now, it is an air-based battle pass, though much of, if not everything, with the exception of the aerial movement parts, are usable in the standard game modes. So we're going to quickly go over the battle pass, and well, don't worry, we'll skip past a whole bunch of stuff because I'm certainly sure everyone here A has access to the battle pass at this point, and B has already come across it on like JB Writer's channel or some crap like that. So we're going to fast forward. One of the things that that the devlog mentioned, and I wanted to go over this, was they were saying, "Oh man, you get this whole vehicle, full vehicle, all the parts, you get it, the whole vehicle. How stupid it would be to give you less than the whole vehicle. That would be dumb." They said that. Now, you guys remember like Polar Lights, right? Where they give you 2 fucking tracks, not enough to make a car, 2 tracks. They gave you 2 tracks. You couldn't make a car. If you're a brand new player, you couldn't do shit with that. At least they did better. Now you get a whole vehicle, which isn't much. I mean, in reality, looks like a growl cabin. I think those are some AC-50s, and I think that's just about it. Oh no, I'm sorry, those are rapiers. Oh Jesus. Oh Jesus. So, oh, but wait. It gives you a one of these. It gives you a Falco, so it skips you past the super ass tier that is available to craft of hovering mechanisms. So that's good. So let's skip it down the battle pass. First week, you're gonna get 1, 2, 3. Yeah, first week you're gonna get nothing. Second, wait, hold on, let me check this. Yeah, nothing. You get nothing. So week 1 you'll get nothing. Week 2, oh no. No. Repair kits, no. No. Okay, once again, bitching about repair kits. Nobody uses these. They don't have value. This shouldn't be in a battle pass. Whatever. Week 2, you get nothing. Though you do get this neat background customization. Effectively nothing. Finally, week 3 rolls around, and you get the actual helicopter blade that was utilized in the previous helicopter events, basically. So cool. There you go. This coaxial rotor, which you're going to see plenty of in the future because everybody's going to use it because it's probably the only good helicopter blade, has 446 duro with 50% damage pass-through. So that means non-collision damage. You're going to take over 800 damage to destroy that. So somewhere there of 894 damage to destroy this helicopter blade. Pretty cool. Other than that, you get nothing. So that's week, what, 3? Week 4, you get 2 of the side rotors that they mentioned that you need multiples of to make a car. I think the next week you get 2 more so you can actually make your car. God damn it. Anyway, so that means that week 4 you get nothing because you're already in the air. What's the power score on these? 220? Power score of this is 850. All right, well, that is one advantage. Even though you require 2 of these, so you're looking at 440 minimum, you can get to the skies with a relatively lower power score. If you're using 3 of these, which is what's most likely if people are going to try and make a 3-blade hover or flying device, you're looking at, what, 660 power score, so it still comes in under the petrol. I think the durability is significantly lower. No, actually, the durability is comparable. I don't believe this is damage pass-through, though. It does. This is 30% damage pass-through. My math is bad because it's hard to do the math off the top of your head, but that means that this thing has basically 170% life, which is still pretty good. All right, fair enough. But once again, we are already at week 5 of this battle pass, and you will still not have any real new toys to play with. No new pew-pew yet until week 6 of the battle pass, in which time you get what appears to be 1 B12 Dove Mine Layer. This thing takes 7 energy. So which means that at most you put on a build, you'd need 2, but they are only giving you 1. That's fine. Long story short, this has 2 firing modes. 1 firing mode for when you're playing non-helicopter gameplay, and another firing mode for when you are. Yes, theoretically, you can fly really, really low and access the other firing mode, but whatever. So, when the bomb hits environmental objects from a height of less than 30 meters, meaning if you are lower than 30 meters off the ground and you fire, the projectile will stick to the ground and become a mine for 10 seconds. That's it. Just a quick little 10-second mine. So unlike the King, which will poop out mines that will last for basically ever, I think it's somewhere in the neighborhood of just over a minute, I think. This will only last 10 seconds. But the B-12 Dove fires four bombs rapidly. So you get 4 bombs, and so if you've been trying to get into the mine laying market, you know, and the King kind of priced you out, you could probably rock 2 Doves, but that's 14 energy, and the King is only 3. But it is what it is. Other than that, if you are above 30 meters, when you click the fire button, instead you just straight up drop bombs. You just straight up you just drop bombs. So the damage is increased by 25%, and the explosion does not have reduced damage from distance of the explosion. That's actually what used to be a pretty rare perk, but now seems to be all over the place. This thing poops pretty quickly. It goes 1, 2, 3, 4. As quickly as I just spoke is how quickly it fires. It could be interesting. I think that, again, if you can't afford a King, which many people can't, or don't want to purchase the battle pass, but you are willing to buy this season pass, I mean, it gets you into the mine laying game. If you are doing a mine tug, theoretically, depending on how much damage the B-12 Dove does, let's check it. Why not? Why not? Let's check it. Depending on how much damage the B-12 Dove does, it may actually replace the King, to be honest. The King, usually you just drop a whole bunch of things on the ground as rapidly as possible. That's funny. Okay, so this thing doesn't poop very far. Oh, it's funny. 56? That can't be right. Hold on, we're gonna try this one more time. I just kind of want to see how much damage this thing does per volley. .45, so yeah, I think it's 56. So, I mean, that's actually less damage than the King. I think the King does 140 something. But still, this can get you into the mine laying game. I mean, I don't think it replaces the King necessarily. People have already mounted it in silly ways on their vehicles. This isn't exactly what you would want to do, but there you go. If someone's chasing you, you just poop out mines, mind you. 10 seconds is a long time, though. 10 seconds is a long time. Anywho, continuing on in ye old battle pass. So what was that? Was week 6? And of course they give you the ability of more trash, which is nothing. They of course give you the ability to make it. Once again, 650 bearings. Like, this is the... How do I phrase this? You should not gain the ability to craft with the resource, the item, before you're able to afford it, right? So the best way to put this is, it's like, oh, look at this, all these things you can craft with this resource. One is 650 across the board. You don't have any, right? 2, you can spend 650 on the Dove, or you can get a Starfall or whatever for 650. Odds are good you're gonna pick the Starfall, but we'll see about that in a moment. But you shouldn't get the ability to exchange your fucking tokens for this when you can't afford it. It's not an actual reward. That's a huge issue that I have with they keep doing over and over again. It's like, ooh, here's the item, we give you one, great, thumbs up, all right, good on you. Whole bunch of nothing, cool. And look at this, you can totally just you just make them from here on out with your currency, with your event currency at level 48. How much event currency do you have at level 48? You have not enough. I'm not going to count that. It's like not anywhere near enough. So that's just a minor kibitz, because it's like it's a dead battle pass level. You're not getting anything out of it. And then you also get the ability to actually craft this with whatever. Oh, actually, you know what? Let's check what crafting a normie would cost. Yep. So averters, I believe, can only be made from previous battle passes. A2 flywheels, I think, can still be made, and of course the hummingbirds come from this battle pass. Let me check. I will check that right now just to make sure. I believe... No, it's not going to be Hyperborea. They didn't come out with anything. KA2 Flywheel, I think, was... Did that just get put under Scavengers? Am I drunk? There it is. Oh, so we can crap out flywheels as we see fit. But averters, I don't think you can make. Pretty sure. Let's find out. Nope, you can't. So averters, I believe, are the special price point in this ye old market for crafting these things directly. So that'll be fun. Continuing on, the week after that, you get 1 Starfall. So the Starfall is an interesting gun. Basically, you want to miss in order to trigger the perk. Yeah. Interesting stuff. So the damage on it is not as high as you'd think. I did some testing because I was curious. Is the AA gun for Starfall overpowered? I've heard some mixed reviews on this so far. Some people are saying yes, outright yes, it's clearly super overpowered. And from what I can see, it's not. It's a fun gun, don't get me wrong. But this is closer. If we go to ye old Tech Tree, the Starfall, which is right here, is a lot closer to the Therm and the Jewel than it is the Cyclone. It's got higher power score, you're paying for it because it costs more energy, but is it as good? We'll see. We'll see. So, let's go to ye old Exhibition real fast and grab a Starfall. We're going to grab any old Starfall build, whatever people put on here, and we're going to show you the damage. So one of the things that many people, in all their testing and all that bullshit they do, they're just like, they shoot it a couple times, and then you're like, well, what does that mean? Well, let's put this in real-world numbers. Why don't we shoot the damage ball and find out how much this actually does. This is 2 Starfalls, which is the most you can actually put onto a build. The reason why it is the most is because 1,260. 1,260. The reason why that's the most you can fit on a build is because it takes 6 energy each. Remember the number 1,260. This is just 2 Cyclones. Remember the number 1,260. Which of these do you think is going to do more damage? Let's find out. All right, we've blown past 1,260. We're at 2016. So, is this new gun overpowered? No. No, it's just not. It just isn't overpowered. It has significantly higher power score. I think the durability is lower. I'm fairly positive. I know for a fact it's lower. Yeah. It's got lower durability. It's got higher energy cost. The advantage, though, it has a high fire rate, so it looks super damaging. Sound familiar? Sound familiar? Sound familiar? Sound familiar? So it looks like it's damaging, but it actually isn't. In reality, for the energy cost, from what I can tell, just off the cuff, Starfall probably needs a little bit of a buff, just a little bit of a buff, because its damage isn't there. It's just not there. It looks like it's got the damage. It's just not there. The overall idea is that the perk of the Starfall, for those of us who didn't read it, says that when you fire and miss, but miss very, very, very close, like really, really close. If you miss like right next to the target, 1.1 meters away, that is 2 pins. Basically, it's basically 2 pins. So if your projectile comes within 2 pins distance of a target, it'll explode instead of missing. And that explosion will have a 100% increased blast radius over what its current blast radius is, because it has its own blast radius, so it doubles that. And the damage will not reduce based on distance away from the explosion. So, what does that look like? See those black plumes? Whenever you see a black plume, that's when the perk has gone off. If you see a direct hit, like sparks, you're not getting your perk. You're getting your perk when you miss. But as you can see, even against my crappy hover that was made poorly, it takes forever to destroy it. So, Is this overpowered? No. I think this, believe it or not, I don't think it... In order to be competitive, it would need a buff. But in all honesty, I think it's fine the way it is. Honestly, going back, I'll just go back on that. I think it's probably fine the way it is. And the reason why is because this gun feels fun. It just feels fun, but I don't think it's overpowered. I think it just feels fun. I don't think it's good. So when I say not overpowered, I don't think it's good. It doesn't compete with the Cyclone, which means it doesn't compete with the Stillwind. So it would be the worst of the legendary autocannons, just right off the bat. Just clink! Right off that bat, it's inferior to the other two legendary autocannons, and it takes one more energy. I think that they could probably reduce the energy cost by 1, bring it down to 5, just like the other autocannons. You could bring 3 of these suckers. That'd be kind of cool. These are 360-degree guns, if I recall correctly. I think that they can aim in any direction, so they're fun. They're cool. They have a very, very, very high azimuth, meaning they can aim up really, really high. But other than that, I don't know. They don't seem too strong. But honestly, I don't think we need them to be too strong. So the FHT3 Flock. This thing's going to be interesting. Let me say something right now real fast. I don't like the Hurricane. I don't like it. I've never liked it. I've hated it. This weapon in Cardboard Ninja, we go way back. We go back to the beginning of time, the Hurricane and I hate the Hurricane. Not because I don't have any. I don't have one. Clearly, I've never owned one. But fuck, I hate this gun. I hate this gun so much, more than any other weapon in the entire game. I actually don't have a problem with the Pyres. They're both lock-on weapons. I don't give a shit about the Pyre. Pyre's limited range. The Hurricane has an effective, unlimited range. You have some of the best players on Earth. All they do is face away from you, make sure that, you know, you're firing in the air quotes wrong direction, cause the missiles to fly straight up above you before they reach this point in their flight trajectory where they're allowed to make one 90-degree arc turn so they come straight down into your build. Fuck the Hurricane. I genuinely don't like this weapon. So why am I bringing up the Hurricane so much? Because they fucked the Hurricane. With the FHT-3 Flock for just 375 power score, you actually can just stop the Hurricane. It launches flares, and any flare that comes anywhere near one of those missiles, it'll detract the missiles. That's kind of busted. Because it's not about you, right? It's not about one player. It's about every player. Imagine if you have got, you know, 4 bots on a team and 4 players. 2 of the players have this. With just that, you can shut down as many Hurricane players as you want. I hate the Hurricane, but I think that's a little bit overboard, to be honest. This should probably either take 1 energy or catch a nerf in some way, shape, or form. That's a can of whoop ass that I'm opening in the background. But in reality, even regardless of how much I hate the Hurricane, I hate the playstyle, I hate everything about it, this is a little bit too strong. The only reason why this isn't super overly bad is because the Flock has limited ammunition. And it fires very quickly. So that's good, because it means that you're not necessarily immortal forever. But for those people who, like, for example, this brick build, which would normally be totally annihilated by, you know, Hurricane missiles, I mean, it's going to get away. It's got a little bit more, it's got just a little bit of protection. Just boop, 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 boop. That is terrible positioning of that Flock. Boop. I'm pretty sure that this guy probably meant to do better than that. Because that's... There you go. This guy gets it. You gotta get those missiles away from your build. You want to get them up and out. So, you just tap. Oh, missiles are incoming? Boop, boop. And that's it. So I think that's a little bit much. I think that's... yeah, it's a little bit much. Wait, this guy's got Hurricanes and Flocks? Do they... Okay, well, at least it looks cool as hell. This just looks cool. I think this is a... Zoom and remember pictures of helicopters as they drop their flares like this, and they look like angels. That's effectively what the Flock is and what it's doing. But anyway, I think that's a little bit... I think it's a little bit busted. That's all. I think that it's a little bit too much to counter one gun. Because there really aren't any other guns that you're going to use to counter that, right? Like, what does this counter? Really? Fires thermal elements that disrupt the homing of enemy rockets. That is all. Enemy rockets. That's it. So this is kind of like the difference. Okay, so hold on. Here's another thing. What the fuck? You might be thinking, what am I talking about? You guys know what I'm talking about. What the fuck? The Argus just got shit on again. God damn it. God fucking damn it. The Argus just keeps sucking ass, and it just got even worse. They need to reduce the energy cost of the Argus to 0. Not joking. This is too much. I know that sounds rough. I mean, that doesn't sound like you're like a free module. Yeah. No, the Argus should be a free module. It just should be. But people will put Arguses on their car. No shit. Because the Argus is effectively unused right now. Just give it the nerf that you can only have one Argus. Make it 0 energy, reduce the cooldown in half. Because look, like, compare it to its contemporary, the Flock. No cooldown, can save your friends, no penalty for firing it, because there's, again, no cooldown, right? Mind you, it is an ammunition weapon, but still, I think that is a little bit much. Oh, these can't be put on Leviathans. And finally, the Hippogriff new cabin. For whatever reason, this is coming in at Battle Pass level 67, the final week that you actually will be gaining anything. That's what, week 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 weeks from now. 9 weeks from now. That's 2 months. In 2 months, people who don't just shell out money to the Battle Pass will be obtaining the Hippogriff. Fair enough. Hippogriff has a decent mass limit at 13,200. Tonnage is kind of weak. 85 km an hour cabin speed is very good. This is a medium cabin? Yep. That is a speedy medium cabin. I think that's the second fastest medium cabin in the game, actually. Pretty sure of it. Pretty sure that's the second fastest. We're looking at, what, 85? Is there anything that gets close? There's only one, which is the Torero. Oh, no! The Torero's gone. That's right. It was moved to light. There is no medium cabin with that kind of speed anymore. We've got 80 on the Beholder. Yeah, no. Fastest medium cabin by far. Oof. So, yeah, Hippogriff. Fastest medium cabin. So they're trying to undo all the changes that they did before, where they're like, oh, light cabin should be faster than medium cabins, and oh, blah, blah, blah. Whatever. So, let's read the stats. Has a built-in radar, which is amazing. It has 320 meter radar detection in cover. Let's check what we're comparing that against. Oh, wow. No way. One moment. So it's, wow. That's really good. So the Maxwell has 250 meters in cover. The Doppler has 450 meters in cover. This has 350 meters in cover. It's 360. I'm sorry, no. Sorry, 320. So, and it has a recon data transfer zone radius of 360 meters, which is to say you retransmit your stuff. And it's got 90 meters mine detection? What? God damn it. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. God damn it. Okay, once again, this patch is like purely to shit on the Argus. The Argus's mine detection radius is 75 meters. Before this point, that was the highest mine detection in the game. You're like, no, what? The second Doppler, I think it's like low, 20 meters. That's really it. Like, I don't think... Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the best mine detection in the game. 90 meter mine detection radius? What in the truck? What? That's insane. This is a really good radar. I'm not gonna lie. So when I was wondering what the stats of this was going to be before, and I was theory crafting with it, I assumed that the radar you got wouldn't be this good. This is a phenomenal radar. So it does not beat the Doppler on retransmission, and it also doesn't beat the radio on retransmission, but nothing stops you from slapping a radio on this bitch. Detecting enemies in cover, it's not as good as the Doppler, but it is better than the Maxwell. That's really good. It's got a detection radius, and of course, as we all know, it has an activated ability for 7 seconds with a 25-second cooldown. Enemies within your detection range behind cover are highlighted for 7 seconds. So it basically gives you wall hacks up to, if you don't bring a Doppler, 320 meters. If you do bring a Doppler, 400 something meters. Let me find out. I believe that was 400 meters even, but you can get this fused, and many people do have it upgraded for range of detection and cover by 15%. That's 15% of its value, so that's 15 times 4, which is 60. So you can usually get 460 meters of in cover detection. And some people might be thinking, wait a minute, does it mean you can detect people in cover further than you can just standard detect them? That is correct. Doppler's sick. I love the Doppler. It's still my favorite module in the entire game. It's phenomenal. No, mine isn't fused yet. Need to get fused. But after that week, there's nothing really else. Like, you get some garbage. You're never going to craft one of these to sell. But Raven Duck is, of course, S tier. But everything else, just garbage. I believe that you get enough bearings by what level? I'm pretty sure. Dang, I don't want to do this math on in the video, but I'm going to. So up to 50. 90? Oh, God damn it! We're just doing this. We're doing it live. We're at 165, chat. Oh my God! Plus 50. 215 plus 75. We're at 290 plus 100. Which means we're at 390 plus 60. We're at 450 plus, oh my God. So you will finish the battle pass, 450. So we're going to say, what is it, 650? You need 200. So 200 divided by 15 is what we're looking at? Yeah, we don't see any bursts. So 250, divide that by 15. You need 17 of these level ups. How long does it take to get 17? That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. You need to be level 101. Wow. That is terrible. Oh my God, again, they're doing it again. But yeah, at level 101 of the Battle Pass, assuming you do not pay money, at level, well, I mean, even if you do pay money, because you can buy levels, but at level 101 of the Battle Pass, you'll finally have enough bearings to craft your second legendary, which means that you can either get another Dove or another Starfall. Or, very unlikely, but you could get another Flock. But that's when you get it. That is brutal. That's some brutal battle passing right there. Yeah, that's pretty brutal. I think. Hold on, let me see here. Do they give a 100 bonus there and a 200 bonus there? Yeah, so they're trying to incentivize you to pay for levels, another 200 bonus, and another 200 bonus. So it is possible if you pay before you reach the very end of the battle pass to get another legendary as well, because that's 200, 400, 600, which is more than enough. I don't even need to keep counting, but that's 700 right there, assuming that you pay for the pay money to get to level 140 basically. Do I think this battle pass is worth it? I hate this. Why do I even, you know what, no one asked me. Maybe I could just skip this part of the video. Peace, guys. Like and subscribe. Is the battle pass worth it? So here's the deal. I know that they added the crafting for the flying parts to somewhere. I see the engineer gets the seagull, which is the shittiest version. It's got to be the nomads. There's no way it's not the nomads. It's not the nomads. Oh my God, did they? Do you think that they... This feels stupid. This feels dumb. Did they really not give us the ability to craft these? Oh, thank goodness, I have a whole bunch of these Guardians. That's going to go up in price, and I think I have a couple of these piercers. But yeah, no. If they're going to keep this helicopter part to be either the hummingbirds or the petrels, if they're going to keep those battle pass only, meaning next season you basically can't get helicopter fucking blades. I mean, what are we really going to put it past them? Come on, are we really going to put them past them and do that? That'd be fucking nuts. Oh yeah, let's take a look at the crafting of these regular items. So it looks as though the fidget and the photon are going to be your go-tos to craft a basic Starfall. I already mentioned the averter and the flywheel. If you did want to make another flock, you're looking at the whirl and the bootstrap. And if you want a hippogriff, you're going to want to give up those arguments and another bone? What the... Man, the hits keep on coming. Look, I'm not saying the hippogriff is a good cabin. Not yet. But it does have good stats. As for a medium cabin, it's now the fastest medium cabin. It has very decent speed. Its geometry does not look bad at all. Actually, yeah, it's even got a nice little pocket in the front. It's a pretty good cabin. As far as medium cabins go, it of course competes directly with the other two cabins or the one cabin that does. It competes with the Beholder. It also competes with the Griffin. So it makes sense. Griffin, Beholder, Hippogriff, they're all doing their thing. This is obviously made to be with its high top speeds, it can be a hover. With its decent stats, mass limit of 12,000, it can be a pretty big, you can have a really chunky boy on this one too. So, is it a good cabin? Yeah. So far, from what I can tell from the stats, it says yes. I think that the real overpowered thing will be when people start getting really good at seeing people through walls. So, dropping those heathers, I'm sure people are like, I can use it with mandrakes. No, you can't. You use heathers. So people with heathers are going to be really painful with this. Other than that, I don't think there's... Okay, that's not true. Scorpions are also a problem. I know what you're thinking. Actually, not even scorpions. Not just scorpions. Scorpions, cannons, anything where you have to lead your shot. This cabin is gonna put in work. Why? Because when the overall idea is you're always right now when I play the game, at least I look on my radar and I see people who are about to crest a hill or about to come out of cover or whatever they're doing, and I have to pre-fire. Everyone does because our projectiles have travel time. What if you can just see them? What if instead of guessing where they are approximately, you can just see their ass? Well, the Hippogriff is gonna put in work there. Not gonna lie, it's gonna put in a little bit of work. Yeah, and for those weapons that I named, you aren't really pushing the Catalina. You're not really pushing other light cabins. So this actually is another medium cabin option. Is it better than Beholder? It's really funny. Beholder was one of the first 3 legendary cabins in the entire game. And I don't know. I don't think it is. Cloak is so strong. But Radar is the exact opposite. It's also strong. So that'll be really interesting to see. So anything else that anyone wants that I would think anyone would be interested in? Let's take a look at the fusions real fast. So this Sinus O is decently fused. If you actually wanted fused Sinus O's for low power score domination, not a bad choice. You should skip the Dun Horse because I don't particularly enjoy that fusion type, but it's not terrible. Bonus to power at low power scores isn't nearly as important as bonus to power at high power scores. A synthesis with everything you need. This is a perfect fuse synthesis. So if you were interested in leveling, in getting a perfectly fused synthesis, if you were trying to get into plasma emitters, that's actually not a bad plasma emitter. I still would not recommend it because I think that there's only one good plasma emitter. So I believe that is not the Aurora. It is the Helios. The Helios is the only good plasma emitter. And by good, I mean crazy good. Like, this is a massive difference. We're talking about C tier straight to S tier. It's like crazy difference. So, just want to make sure that everyone's aware that there is a difference between them, and you shouldn't just go grab a synthesis because it's a decent fusion. But anyway, the AC-50 Storm, durability, explosion damage, spread growth. Not exactly the best fusion, but explosion damage is damage because this only does explosion damage. Photon fused mass time to self-destruction mass limit. Not a terrible fusion. Not a terrible fusion. I would have preferred, because the way that people typically build with the photon, you usually are going to have the photon exposed. Usually. And because of that, you're going to want durability over mass, but it's not terrible. Durability time to self-destruction mass limit. Wow. Horrible fusion for the Harpy. Believe it or not, for the Harpy, because of how low its maximum mass is, you actually want the mass fusion. The one that's on this one, the mass minus 17%, you want the mass minus 17% and mass limit plus 10%. That combined gives you enough to actually build with. The Aurora, wow, durability, barrel spin up time, and part heating rate. It is a perfectly fused Aurora. Wow, that is a very good Aurora. Okay, so look, if you're using Arbiter Aurora, you're using Equalizer Aurora right now, or hell, let's just say you're rocking just Auroras. This is actually a really, really, really good fusion. I recommend it. The AC-72 Whirlwind, I don't recommend this weapon in general, but it has durability, explosion damage, and spread growth decreased. I think that of the fusions available, that one's, it's okay. Durability is great. That's what you need. The explosion damage is not terrible, so it's damage, but I think it's the spread growth rate decreased isn't that good because you never full auto with the AC-72 Whirlwind. You usually tap fire. So it's not a perfect fusion, but durability and explosion damage is good if you are a Whirlwind player and do want Whirlwinds. There you go. Durability, damage, spread growth decreased. Spectre 2, that is not terrible. That's a really, again, if you're looking for a really well-fused Spectre, that's probably it. I mean, yeah. Especially seeing as the Spectre has its own built-in damage perk. Fortune, Mine Layer, durability, reload, projectile speed, perfect fuse Fortune. There it is. Retcher, durability, explosion damage, projectile speed. I think these were offered in the last Battle Pass, which is amazing that they're offering another one here. If you picked up a singular Retcher in the last Battle Pass because you're like, well, I'll use one and maybe maybe down the line I'll get another one or something. Here it is. Very next Battle Pass, you can complete your perfect fused Retchers. If you got one Retcher from the previous Battle Pass, couldn't recommend this more. If yeah, because this will finish your set. It is technically perfectly fused, in my opinion. The Cyclone, durability, explosion damage, spread. This is different than the previous Battle Pass's Cyclone. The previous Battle Pass's Cyclones were durability. Hold on. I literally own them, so we're just gonna look with our damn eyes, and they're on the build. Nope. They were visible, weren't they? They are. I have a CK on them, I'm sure. I have a CK on them. They were durability, time to overheat, and spread. They are very similar to each other, to be honest. Personally, I think that the time to overheat gives you more damage than just 5% more damage. But in all honesty, they're both going to be good. They're both going to put in the work for you. They're both going to be great. So this is a near perfect, if not perfect, fused Cyclone. You have Cyclones, and you need to complete them. There you go. Perfectly fused Helios. This is a good gun. I already mentioned that's a very good gun. There's your perfectly fused Helios. A perfectly fused Reaper. This is the same as the one that was released in the previous Battle Pass. So if you picked up a singular Reaper in the last Battle Pass, here's your second one. And an Imp. I mean, durability, damage, spread is perfectly fused, but I'm not too big of a fan of Imps. I have them, but honestly, they're kind of underwhelming in my opinion. They're very strong on Leviathans, and they have their moments, but otherwise, meh. So that's the Battle Pass. I never really did answer whether or not it's worth it. Am I going to pick it up? I probably am. But that's because, you know, I'm kind of a whore for crossout. But should you? Once again, you're looking at 5 weeks before you get anything to play with, and it's a rotor, and they gave you another rotor that looks exactly like it, just has lower stats. So you're looking at 5 weeks of nothing, right? Assuming that you buy the Battle Pass, you get the rotor right there, the upgraded rotor. So that's week 1, week 2. Ooh, gets those repair kits. Week 3 is is when you finally get another rotor, which does nothing. Week 4, more rotors, so you're already in the air. Week 5, more rotors. Week 6 is when you finally get your very first weapon. It depends on if you have patience and you are willing to wait 1.5 months to start playing like with new shit. Then yeah, it's worth it. Yeah, just remember, don't go too overboard on worrying about the Starfall. It is not as strong as it looks. So if you see someone using the Starfall, just recognize it's just a weaker Cyclone. Straight up. Not joking. I'm not exaggerating. You've seen it in action. You've seen the numbers put up. It's just a weaker Cyclone for more energy. So until they buff this in some way, either by reducing the energy cost by 1, increasing its damage, or whatever, it's just a weaker Cyclone. So don't worry about it if you see it in combat. If you see people who've paid to get ahead and they've got their autocannon, their Starfalls, you're like, oh, should I pay the money to get ahead? No. Not really. If you have Cyclones, you actually outgun this by about 1.5 times with just... That was, by the way, that was 2 versus 2. I didn't have... I was using 2 Starfalls versus 2 Cyclones. You can have 3 Cyclones! Like, fucking... What the fuck? Anyway, yeah. And then there's the Flock. I'm not... How is that the perk? The perk of this is doesn't heat up when firing. That's not a perk. Anyway. Yeah. Is it worth it? Honestly, do you remember, anybody who watches my videos, I'll just cut to the chase. If anyone watches my videos, you know that they're looking to create an MVP, not most valuable player, but they're looking to make a minimum viable product. And they've been doing, unfortunately, and I don't want to say this, a bang-up job of doing that. That doesn't mean it's good for us as gamers. A bang-up job creating a minimum viable product means that they are writing the absolute minimalistic line of content that they can provide and still get money for it. And they're doing an extraordinarily good job. They're doing very well at producing just fucking barely enough to keep my interest. If they gave one thing less, just anything less, I'd be like, yeah, you know what, F this battle pass. But because they managed to just barely, again, and they've done this over and over, they've done 3 battle passes in a row, just barely keep my interest, I will probably be picking up this battle pass. I do think that it is technically worth it. If, again, looking from a brand new player's perspective, you have nothing, right? You've just started cross out for whatever reason. And you come here and you're like, Cardboard Ninja, is this battle pass worth it? I'm brand new. Yes. Unfortunately, I am forced to say yes. Because for a brand new player, you're going to get a cabin, you're going to get a couple of autocannons, you're going to get new movement parts to play in a game mode when you reach level 10. They're going to give you significantly more movement parts. They're going to give you significantly more movement parts. So they're going to give you a lot of movement parts. It's not going to be like the previous effing battle passes where they didn't give you but 2 fucking tracks. They'll give you the movement parts. They'll give you legendary weapons that actually don't suck. They don't necessarily compete yet, but they don't suck. And yeah, you get a legendary cabin. Is it worth it for a brand new player? I'd say so. Combined with what you get when you level up as you play the game, I think you're led to a very specific path, but it is worth it. And that path being the air game mode. With this, you're going to be playing the flying game mode, period. Because you're only getting, flying movement parts and stuff, shit like that. You're getting a lot of flying movement parts, and that's the problem. You're never going to really play the ground game. So that's going to be rough. But other than that, like almost everything else really translates pretty well to just ground play. So I do think it's worth it. I do think it is very barely worth it, but I do think it is worth it. So I hope you guys enjoyed my breakdown of this. If there was anything anybody was... Wait, let me think. Is there something somebody would ask? They'd be like, Cardboard Ninja, blah, 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 about the Battle Pass. I'm trying to think really, really hard. Just think, what would the question be? What would the ask be? So that I can answer it before someone posts this in the comments below. But I can't think of anything. Just make sure that if you're fighting a Starfall, you just stand and bang with them. If you got Cyclones, you'll win. You do double. You basically do over 1.5 times the damage. So, oh, by the way, yeah, the Starfall. This is obvious. Combines with the Harpy. Anytime you reach a weapon that has a perk that's based on splash, always, 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 always go with the Harpy. Harpy increases the blast radius, and that will increase your damage dramatically, as you can see. So always go with Harpy. Harpy is going to get you that black cloud that you're looking for. You're going to do a little bit more damage over distance. And it's not that you're doing more damage, it's that you're consuming more of your opponent's build. You're hitting more parts. That's what that does for you. So yeah, with the Harpy, this thing is actually pretty good. So use it with the Harpy. Don't try and hit directly. There you go. There's your cardboard ninja tip of the day. So yeah, seeing as this video is now 45 minutes long, I think I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you for watching. Let me know what you think about the new Battle Pass in the comments below. The only reason why you don't see me getting footage of playing the game is because I hear that the servers are taking a shit because, I don't know, the servers can't handle the number of people playing, or maybe they're just bad at having servers up. I don't know, I'm not a doctor. But anyway, thank you for watching. Like, subscribe. Peace.